Hello, good evening. Welcome to day 2 of our Facebook Live chats for National Prevention Week. Today we will be talking about the prevention of underage drinking and alcohol misuse. Let's get started. So today we have Detective Brown. And first of all, just tell us a little about yourself, your background, and your experience with the prevention of underage drinking and alcohol.
I'm a detective with the Columbus City Police Department, narcotics and alcohol detective. Been with the Columbus City Police Department for almost 25 years now, and during that 25 years I've worked in the downtown area as well as with the local bars and convenience stores and grocery stores concerning underage drinking for several years now. We work numerous operations concerning underage drinking within the city limits of Clemson, as well as with other agencies such as SLED and Pickens County.
Okay, so now we're just going to start with our questions for you. And when do you think parents and caregivers and other adults should begin to talk with young people about underage drinking?
I don't think there's any set time. I think when kids and children start asking questions, that's a good time to start talking with them. Usually a good rule of thumb is around middle school. That's when kids start venturing out kind of on their own, going to sleepovers at friends' houses, to parties, dances, things of that nature at the school. Even if they're going to a sleepover at other kids' houses, there may be alcohol in those houses, and that's a good time to start, discussing the consequences of drinking alcohol and consuming alcohol with them.
Okay. So why should everyone, and not just parents, people in and around our communities, why should they be concerned about underage drinking?
Well, I think it's an overall national concern, not just here in Pickens County or in South Carolina or even in Clemson. It's an overall concern nationally. It certainly has an impact in driving up health care, the number of DUIs out on the street, the risk and concerns for health issues for kids and young adults. So I think it's a concern that everyone should be concerned about.
So how exactly can parents, teachers, and other people around and in our communities, how can they prevent underage drinking?
I think coming together and working together, parents working with teachers, teachers working with caregivers, just like here at the Pickens County Behavioral Health, and the programs that they have concerning underage drinking and getting out in the community and getting the word out that this needs to be something that is prevented, something that is stopped, and everybody working together, parents, I can't stress that enough, speaking with their children, with their kids, young adults, and even teachers having an impact in the classroom and speaking with their kids while they're in the classroom, and participating in programs such as the programs that, like I stated, with the Pickens County Behavioral Health has.
Okay. Can you speak to parents allowing kids to drink at their home with the thought that, quote, as long as they take away their keys, that they'll be fine? What is the issue with that?
I think the biggest issue with that is the kids are going to take away from it that it's okay to consume alcohol and to drink. And if they are allowing that inside the house, kids may take away that, well, if my mom and dad allowed me to do it at home, then they won't mind if I do it at my friend's house. Or if I do it and get a fake ID and try to go into a bar, they'll be okay with that. So I think it kind of sets a bad precedence in that it tells the kids that, hey, mom and dad let me do it at home, so why should they be mad at me if I do it somewhere else?
Okay, so what are some of the legal consequences of being caught drinking if you are underage?
In the state of South Carolina, if you're caught under the age of 21 in possession of alcohol, and the law says in possession, it doesn't say that you have to be consuming it. and simply in possession of the alcohol, whether it be in the car with you, or you're holding it in a bag walking down the street, or holding a beer can or a liquor bottle. You're in possession of it, so you don't even have to be consuming it to be charged with underage possession. The fine is right around $375 in the state of South Carolina for first offense, and it goes up as each offense occurs. There are some diversion programs out there that kids today have the opportunity to go through, such as AEP, which is an alcohol education program, and then there's also PTI, which is a pretrial intervention program.
Okay, so we're going to shift our focus to alcohol misuse in general. So for a moment, could you just speak about the harmful effects of binge drinking? Now, binge drinking is, drinking 5 or more drinks on a single occasion for men, or 4 or more on a single occasion for women. And that's generally within about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. The biggest concerns about binge drinking is the blood alcohol level is really going through the roof, consuming that much alcohol at one time. What people misunderstand is that for each beer that is consumed, or each normal alcohol drink that is consumed, it takes about 1 hour for the body to dissipate that alcohol out of the body, a little over an hour, to dissipate that alcohol and get it out of the body and out of the blood system. And what happens is when you're consuming that many drinks within an hour, the body does not have time to process that alcohol and get it out of the system. So therefore, you're overloading your blood system, you're overloading your body, your organs, and the brain in general. One misconception is everybody thinks that, if I slam these 4 or 5 drinks all in within an hour or 2 hours, then I won't have anything else to drink, and I'll be fine in an hour. Well, the body doesn't process that alcohol that fast. It takes a while to get that alcohol out of the body and for it to run its course. So the biggest thing is with the binge drinking is that blood alcohol level going way through the roof and being at a very high level in a very short amount of time.
Okay, so what health problems are associated with excessive alcohol use?
Of course, liver disease is one of the leading causes from alcohol use, but it can affect the kidneys, can have an effect on the heart. Excessive drinking can lead to alcoholism, and it's just a very broad amount of health issues on the body itself.
Okay. You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just to clarify for everyone, and this is even myself, what is blood alcohol concentration, or BAC? What does that mean? And what is the legal limit for BAC?
BAC is just that, the blood alcohol concentration in certain millimeters of blood in your system. Here in South Carolina, concerning DUI, the blood alcohol concentration, or BAC, is a 0.08% per units of alcohol per millimeter of blood. You can back that up to 0.02 for blood alcohol for underage drinking, and measuring if someone has even consumed alcohol, or if they're under 21 and have been consuming alcohol. But really, the blood alcohol, it doesn't matter if it's a 0.002 or a 0.008. You're still operating a motor vehicle while impaired and under the influence of alcohol. Anything greater than 0.08 or 0.08, is definitely cause for concern in operating operating a motor vehicle, even under .08. Your mental capacity to operate that vehicle starts to diminish. It's been proven that operating a motor vehicle is a divided attention task or skills, whereas you have to hold the steering wheel, you have to run the wipers if it's raining, you have to use your turn signals, people will turn the radio up and down, and all these things are, use your mirrors, and all these things are divided attention skills. And what the alcohol does is it brings down those levels of divided attention to where you're not focusing on all those things that you should be focusing on while you operate in a motor vehicle, looking at your rear view mirrors, looking at what's in front of you in traffic, what's beside you in traffic, and what's behind you in traffic. And the alcohol brings those down to where you're not actually paying attention to everything. That's why it's so harmful and so concerning out here on the roadway.
Okay, so what can someone do if they know someone, loved ones, friends, anyone, if they know they have a drinking problem? Let's say, Aunt Cynthia likes to have her glass of wine every night before the bed. What can we do?
Well, I think if it has become a problem, I think the biggest thing is to reach out to someone and talk with them. Of course, I can't say enough about the people here at the Pickens County Behavioral Health and how they have, and the programs they have to help people. But reaching out, whether it be to a loved one, a teacher, clergy, whoever it may be, a friend, just reaching out and taking that first step of saying, I have a problem and I need help.
Okay. So, as far as business owners, so what are some local options for establishments that suspect someone in their restaurant, store, bar, any of those has had too much to drink? Can you speak to penalties for over-service or serving or selling alcohol to a minor?
Yes. Some of the options that establishments who suspect someone in their restaurant or bars had too much to drink is, and we discuss this each year at Clemson when we have our meeting in August with all the bar owners and bartenders and waitresses, is the first thing to do is to cut them off, tell them that they don't need anything else to drink, serve them some water, soda, give them some food. If the individual still becomes a problem, causing problems, at that time they need to go ahead and contact law enforcement and maybe see about having them removed or letting the law enforcement officer speak with them. I think that's one of the, I explained to the bar owners and bartenders and all in Clemson, that's one of the things that we're there for. We're in the downtown area. If someone gets out of hand, if someone doesn't want to be cut off and doesn't generally want to accept the fact that they've had too much to drink and want to argue about it, let us handle it. Call us. Call the police department. And they can go, for any establishment, whether they're in Clemson or whether they're here in Pickens City or Easley City or anywhere. Some of the penalties for overselling and serving alcohol to a minor, the establishment, the person, the bartender or the waitress can be fined up to $475. They can have their license suspended for up to 6 months. And it's also their responsibility to know who they're serving to card those people, to get an ID from them and make sure their date of birth is correct. And not only that, to look at the ID, to know who they're serving alcohol to and that they are over the age of 21. So a lot of goes into just being responsible as a bartender or a bar owner or a door person or a waitress or a waiter, and taking that extra step to look at that ID and know who you're serving and know that they are over 21. Also, SLED can be involved, and a lot of times when we go out and do saturations and do operations in Clemson, SLED comes along with us. And once the establishment, or once the bartender, waitress, waiter, whoever it is that has served the alcohol to someone under the age of 21 that is working for us, we write them a ticket, but then SLED comes in and also writes a violation to the establishment on their license that is issued by the Department of Revenue here in South Carolina. And they can also, the actual owner or of the establishment can also actually be fined by the Department of Revenue for allowing someone in the bar under the age of 21 to consume alcohol or be served alcohol.
Okay, so now we're going to take some questions from our audience, and I guess I'll start it off. And I'll ask, what are some of the telltale signs of someone in a business establishment that's had too much to drink?
Some of the signs, of course, slurred speech, the red, glassy eyes, the unable to keep their balance, unsteady walking, things of that nature that tip us off to say that, hey, maybe this person has had too much to drink. They can be very loud and very boisterous. They can be using a lot of profanity, be very uncooperative, especially even uncooperative to law enforcement. So, those are all things and signs that we look for. Very and communicating. I think communication goes a long way. And the biggest thing is to just let them know that we see the signs, we see the empty liquor bottles, the empty beer cans, the excessive drinking every night, drinking to the point to where someone passes out, or could be anything. Could be things such as leaving cigarettes unattended. Because they've had too much to drink, not taking care of animals, not taking care of children, things that build up and that they see every day constantly, and showing them that the reason these things are happening, the children are not getting taken care of, or animals are not getting taken care of. The reason these things are happening is because they have a drinking problem and they're consuming too much alcohol.
So are you saying, does every drink or every drink that you consume and things of that nature, people that drink, just social drinkers, does that contribute to alcoholism, or is that just, when does that become a problem?
It becomes a problem when they're drinking to the point to where they're getting intoxicated and drunk every night, every day. I'm not talking about the social drinker who has, one or two drinks a week, or maybe one drink a day even, or, a couple of drinks a week. I'm talking about the person who is drinking excessive amounts of alcohol each and every day of their life.
So does anyone out there that's watching us in the cyber world, do you have any questions for our special guest here today? If you do, send them in. We'd love to have your input. How many years have you been, doing this?
For be 25 years the 12th of June.
Okay. All right, so Detective Brown, we thank you for being our guest today. We love that you came in, and on behalf of the Stepping It Up Coalition of Pickens County, we would like to thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, Detective Brown, for taking the time out.
Thank you all very much.